Almost everybody has the same wishes and desires. To be in love, to be happy, to be healthy, to be peaceful. That's a standard wish and desire of everybody. And if we all lived with those wishes and desires, this planet would change overnight. We would have harmony. We would have peace. We would have nature, community, environment. But until we change those subconscious programs, then we become victims of the program and not creators of our life. And when this is understood, then people could say, wait, I have a choice. I say, you do. You can play the programs you're playing, or you can rewrite those programs and take power back. And that's our destination.
All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in to my introduction about alchemy. And I hope some of you are wondering, what is alchemy? And furthermore, why would we start an introduction to alchemy talking about mortality? And to that I might answer, how can we talk about sleep without talking about wakefulness? How can we talk about the yin without the yang? And I love peanut butter and I love jelly, but how can we talk about peanut butter without jelly? So alchemy is the science of cultivating transformation, of cultivating health and longevity across all domains of life. A friend of mine said the other day, what about the science? And I said, alchemy is the science. We assume authorship of our own lives and we become the scientists for our own health. And that includes using Western scientific models. That includes using ancient scientific models. It does involve a hypothesis. Here's my hypothesis. Aging and disease, as we know it, is more closely related to our cultural ideas and values than it is with actual reality. And when we realign our ideas and values and explore what health looks like, we find that aging and disease as we know it doesn't quite line up in the same way. So I wanted to talk about mortality. So I wanted to start my conversation about alchemy and my investigation into longevity and health by looking at some of these things that may sap vitality from our lives, so that when we get ready to undergo a journey into alchemy, we're not just adding years to our life, we are adding life to our years. So the first main cause of mortality as we conceive of it is what I put under energy leaks. Chronic stress is a response to an environment which is fight or flight, which is freeze or fawn. And as we integrate more consciousness and intentionality into our lives, we're able to switch our nervous system from a sympathetic state of fight, flight, freeze, fawn to a parasympathetic state of rest and relax. And in that parasympathetic state, we have more access to what we conceive of as willpower, of choice, of genuine compassion and love. And these things are all healing to the human body, mind, and emotions. Our ideas about mortality are also caused by our disenfranchisement of the body and mind. Even the dualistic split of body and mind and emotions shows us just how disenfranchised we are, or we can be, or our culture has been from a truly integrated view of health. We know that flowing water is healthy, moving water is healthy, stagnant water is not healthy. And our bodies are mostly made of water, 70 to 75% water. And so we don't have to move fast and hard in agitated states, but cultivating good movement habits is a big way to creating a life full of vitality. And both energy leaks and disenfranchisement of the body and mind stem from poor thinking that is rooted in our culture. Huge amounts of music, television shows, news media outlets, and movies that exploit the human nervous system to seek novelty by creating sensational, oftentimes very negative information. And the body receives that without understanding that it's a projection of a false reality. It receives all information as equally real. And so a big step towards stepping away from limited ideas about mortality is moving away from negative media sources. Music. Isolation from nature is also a big part of our concept of mortality. Nature works in cycles. Winter becomes spring, spring becomes summer, summer becomes fall. It works in a cycle, a self-healing cycle. The moon gets larger until it's full, and then it wanes until it becomes new. And that's a part of a cycle, an organic cycle. Day becomes night and night becomes day. And just like that, our bodies go through very natural, organic cycles. And the more we allow that and connect with nature by hiking, by gardening, by being in nature, the more we're able to step away from culturally limited ideas about mortality. Seed to Stars Davy Calico's integration of mindful movement, modern living, and meditation to cultivate health and happiness across all domains of life. So when we say we are creating health across all domains of life, we are using modalities that help us support that. Meditation is a great opportunity to reset the nervous system, to reprogram the nervous system by intentionally moving from the sympathetic state of fight, flight to the parasympathetic rest, relax state. We allow ourselves to find opportunities to reprogram the beliefs and ideas that run most of the thoughts and unconscious beliefs that get projected out into the world around us. And my biggest source of alchemy is Qigong. Qigong is an ancient form of Chinese medicine that goes back thousands of years. It integrates breath and movement and willpower, so that when I do a posture and fuse together the breath and the movement and the intention, my body is seeded with that potential. So let's bring this knowledge into our bodies. I'm going to show you bringing down the heavens. This is a great qigong. This is a great qigong posture to calm the mind, to rest the mind, and we're going to pull that intention of bringing our minds down into our body with this posture. We inhale our arms up and around, and then exhale our hands down the central channel in our body. Go ahead and do 3 of these, inhaling up and around, exhaling down the central column of the body. Great. And then the last one. Hands over your belly. Breathing in. As you breathe in, your belly button pushes out. As you exhale, your belly button pulls in. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to the next time I see you. Have a great day.